Hello, this is Russ Morgan with Fire Your Banker Today. We're going to be looking through an example of purchasing a car and comparing financing versus paying cash versus using the infinite banking concept. I hope you enjoy. Let's look through the numbers of this example. First, let me help you understand the inputs. Let's assume a 30-year period of time, saving $10,000 a year, and let's assume a 4% earnings rate on our account. Now, I'm looking at a savings vehicle. This is something that we want to be liquid, something that we want to be safe and accessible to us. Now, currently, there's not a whole lot of things that would be paying 4%, so I'm going to be using this fictional number as an example just to give us some bearing. Now, obviously, anytime we're earning interest in savings accounts, money market accounts, CDs, so forth and so on, there are going to be taxes included to that. So we're going to have to pay taxes to Uncle Sam. Let's just assume a 30% tax bracket. So if we were saving $10,000 a year, earning 4% interest, and paying the tax, at the end of 30 years, if we just let the money sit in that account, it would be worth $473,000. Now, along the way, we're going to have plenty of things that we're going to need money for, and that's the purpose of savings. Savings are something that we know we're going to need the money for in the future. Some expense, whether it's for college, whether it's for cars, sometimes it's for retirement, sometimes in our businesses to purchase equipment. So I want to look at an example that we all can relate to, which is paying for a car. So let's assume in year 4 we want to go buy a car, and we buy a $25,000 car. Now there's several ways in which we can buy the car, and I'm going to show financing as the first option. Now we've all been told that financing is a horrible way if we can avoid doing it because we pay interest to the bank for the privilege of using their money. Now I know right now interest rates are low, but they won't always be low, so let's take a look at an example of financing a car, and let's just say the interest rate is 6%. So if we bought a $25,000 car, our payment for the year would be $5,900. $5,900 for the year per month, which is what most of us would relate to, is just under $500 a month. Well, obviously, if we borrowed the money from a bank, instead of using our savings that we had in an account, our account value would still be $473,000 at the end of 30 years. Now, we would have had to come up with an additional $491 a month to make our car payment, but our account would be $473,000. So let's go up here and keep tabs of how much we have in our account. So we have $473,000, and our payment to the financing company will be $491. Well, if we went and talked to a financial guru and they looked over our financial situation and they said, look, you've got cash savings sitting in a checking account, savings account, money market account, whatever it is, earning 4%, but yet you're buying a car and you're financing at 6%, you're wasting money. You need to pay cash. Cash is the absolute best way to do this. So let's take a look at that example. So we come over here, we pay cash. We take $25,000 out of our account. We don't have any interest. You can see that. Interest is gone. So we fast forward 30 years and we look at our account value and you see that we have $420,000 in our account. Now, what is our payment? Our payment is $0. But we see that it did have a cost because we lost $53,000 when we only bought a $25,000 car. So paying cash cost us money. Well, we teach people a concept called infinite banking, which is how to repay yourself when you borrow money. And this could be true out of your checking account. So to illustrate that point, let's assume instead of paying cash and not paying ourselves back, we charge ourselves the same 6% interest, meaning that our payment is the same roughly $491 a month. Well, by doing that, what is our account value in 30 years? It's $478,000 instead of $420,000. Now our payment is $491 a month, just like it was in the first financing example. The difference is now we got the $5,000 of interest for that one car added to our account value versus the bank getting the $5,000. Making sense? Well, infinite banking is the process of using a whole life insurance policy that's created and structured for cash value, high cash value, not structured for the death benefit. So what I'm doing is I'm going to show you an example of a policy that I bought on myself in 2010. These are the actual returns internally inside the policy. And you can see over the 30-year period of time, it's assuming a 2.95% average on that cash value. Now, because I am using a life insurance policy and I have structured it in a way that is a life insurance policy, not a modified endowment contract, I don't have to pay tax on the accumulation of the cash. So I can withdraw that tax column that was over here a second ago. Now, if I look at this account, I want to see, well, how much money is going to be in my account if I purchase the $25,000 car, I make the same $491 a month payment back to the insurance company, who, by the way, is charging me interest. They're charging me 5% interest on the money. And so at the end of this 30-year period of time, I have $700,000. And my payment is still $491. Now, have I done anything differently in this scenario? Which one would you rather have?